people have not realized the importance of social media for global relevance. I tell people, gone are the days where people say, "Oh, I don't have to be here. I don't know anybody in this location to go and work there." In that your small space, as small as that your room is, it's just like someone saying from your room to the world.
It have gone at the time that we need to start asking the government, give me job. No, it is time for us to create our own job. Ask yourself, what can you do? It doesn't even matter whether you go to university or not. It's not important anymore. The question is, can you talk? The question is, can you draw? The question is, can you write? The question is, can you do something for somebody else? Can you do graphic? Can you edit video? Any of this skill can be a whole business.
People online, there are most people I know online. I've spoken to them like if we are brothers and sisters, if we have seen, but we've not seen. We've worked together. We've shared same work environment. We've shared same knowledge. We've exchanged so many of them. But people haven't understand social media beyond the general, I don't know what to call it. That's for Twitter people.
Obehi, the author of the storytelling series for small businesses and content creators. In Obehi Podcast, we talk about the power of your story, your narrative, and why you should own your voice. Whether you are a small business owner, a content entrepreneur, or you simply want to build your influence, storytelling is probably going to be your best instrument to connect with your audience. So join the awakened few who are owning their voices. Now let's get started with today's episode.
So in 2019, yes, I decided to go into the HR space. Unknowingly, I just fell into it. Actually, it was not with my clear mind. I fell into it because I was seeking for a job. That was when I was 7. That's NYC. I was seeking for a job, and none was scrolling through the internet. So I saw a particular advert of sourcing specialist. You get to earn, I think then it was 10,000 per candidate. I was like, okay, let me try it. It was for an Indian company. So what we do is source for help Philippines call center companies source for people who work for them for Philippines. So at that moment, I was like, you sure I can do it? And the kind of person I am, I'm an indoor. I don't know if there's an indoor introvert. That's the kind of you just try. Since I can't talk to Nigerians, how am I going to talk to whites? So I started using Facebook because Facebook was the model they taught us, the medium. So they said just post the job, get CVs, we give them back to them, then you wait, something like just post and pray. You get to post job, or people apply, just send the CVs, no screening, nothing. I had nothing. I knew nothing then. It's just that I'm like a middleman. I have a job and I get to put it out there. Oh, I have a job. Do you need a job? Someone needs a job. Then I connect you to the person. Do you get it? I knew nothing about what their job role is. They get to give me a job description. I just get to post. And people who feel, oh, they are connected to the job description, something they can in the recruiting space. Then in 2020, after my 2019, during my service year, I felt it's time to drop this. So I decided to pursue my master's in communication studies. So I went back home. In that period, I lost my dad.
Sorry about that.
To start my master's. In my head, I was like, oh, someone with master's. I graduated with a 2-1 for my BA. I read English and literature. I was like, someone with a master's, then a BA, 2-1 in a BA should be in any company. Any company will want to hire me. So I said, okay, let me keep going. I started applying for jobs. Even during my master's, nothing was forthcoming. I had no clarity. I was just saying, oh, what do you want to do? You need an accountant. Will teach me. I can do this. I can do that. So at the moment, I said, okay, the COVID came. Exactly. The COVID came. Then I started learning graphics designing just for learning's sake. I've been that person that I would not call it so independent. I was trained, I was brought up to be contented with what I had, no matter how small. So I was not thinking big. I was not thinking to get millions in a day. To get, I wanted to start from small, no matter how small, even though it's money for data. I always tell my mom then, even though it's 100 naira to buy airtime, I just want to work and earn money. So that's how I started. And when the COVID came, I started learning graphic designing. As usual, I fell into it. Nothing was with my clear eyes. I was just going through Facebook. And so I said, oh, I'll be teaching for free to empower people during the COVID. I said, okay, let me try it. And it was smartphone then. I started learning graphics design. As I learned it, I was just creating. People were hyping me. Oh, you can create. I was just doing it for fun. I never knew there's a business behind graphics designing. Thing is fine. I go back, nothing. And when I started like that, at the point I realized I was depending so much on my mom, right? And it was time to move from A to B. So I started job searching again. So in my mind, I said, I love talking to people naturally. Let me just go back to HR. Since they say HR then is about humans. So I felt, oh, I have passion for humans. So I'm going to excel in HR. So that time I went back. I said, okay, which part of HR can I do? I started doing research of, oh, what's that sourcing specialist? Imagine me researching my role, the role I've done before, like to show that I had nothing, I had no clarity, I had no knowledge about. I went back to the Indian company and I started sourcing for them. This time around with more intentionality. I now saw it as a business, as a job actually. So that's how I started in the recruiting space. Then in 20, I think I was researching on Google and they said, oh, LinkedIn is where you see high people, they will get to reply, you get people with experience because Facebook were filled with, I don't know. So it was very hard for me to actually get who I want on Facebook. And that is how I registered for LinkedIn. I signed up. That's 2021, I think late 2021 or something. I signed up. I was posting jobs. Nobody was answering me. I said, Shebi Google said you will come here and see people who want job. I say, on Facebook they were. It felt like if I did not exist. I said, I have this job. Oh, you need a job. Look at jobs. You're not answering me. I struggled a lot. Then I left. I was like, this place is professional. When you see people with suits, see people with corporate wears, I said, this place is not for me. Oh. Let me just go back to my Facebook and be managing it like that. I went back to Facebook. At a point, I lost interest. I said, let me just go and look for a physical job. I started my job search again. And during that time, I was more intentional about sourcing. I started screening CVs. I started knowing the difference between, oh, why would this person actually not get the interview? I think it's their CV. I started reading more on CV writing, talking, communication, and then my master's in communication helped me a lot. There were so many things I learned then about. So just to get them to actually go to interview and pass the interview, I'll get to revamp their CV for free. Then I was not seeing CV writing as a business or a skill someone can actually earn from. So I was just helping them so they can get to the end point where they get hired and they pay me. Because why it was difficult is it's about they don't pay you for the process. It's just like do everything you have to do. This person get hired, I will pay you. Do you get? So I was doing everything to make sure they get to that last stage. And it involves helping them with interview, screening their CVs. And when I got tired of it, probably after 3 months or 4 months, at a point, then my mom would say, just keep doing it. I said, just keep doing it. It's just like you're going to work and it's your transport money. That means you're just going to work and they're giving you your transport money. I went back to LinkedIn. I started reading. I was seeing people with long, long posts. Then I could not even write. When I mean I could not put my thoughts together. I understand that, oh, I can see a copy or a post or a content and feel like this thing is not good. But me, I can actually do the good one. Do you get? So I said, oh, okay, this is how LinkedIn is. People will put, every day they are celebrating. I say, what is happening in this place? Yeah, this street of LinkedIn, what is happening? That's how I started. I started lines, 4 lines. I would just come. It felt like my dumping ground. Just type, good morning, everybody. Nobody was listening to me. Then I had consistent 3 likes, and I knew the two people. I knew the two people. When they just like go wait till they say, Gloria, I just knew they were liking it because they know me. I stayed in that 3 likes for over 4 months. And I said, I will see a post and maybe 3 lines from someone to be getting 2,000 plus likes. I said, what is this person saying that I'm not saying? Like, is it my face? Is it because I did a lot of research and implementing? Because right from childhood, when they tell us in my house, oh, do this is how you cook. The next day you'll be cooking that thing. So my mom didn't just say, this is how you boil rice, put the water first. After telling you, I grew up understanding knowledge is power, applied knowledge is just like magic. So anytime I learn, I'll go and apply that thing. If it did not work, I'll scrap it out. Oh, this is off. I'll apply B. If it works, I'll keep it aside, apply C. So that is what I was doing then on LinkedIn. And at the point, I started getting uh, 10 likes, 50. I said, so what I started doing there was funny. If I tell people that January, I will say, okay, I'll increase my like from 10 to 15. And it will happen. February, I'll give myself the mark of 25. It will happen. That is how I started creating realistic, from moving from 2 likes to three, from three to four. And it was working for me. Then I started connecting with so many people, learning how they write, learning how then I could not ask question. I'm a very shy person. Instead of me to ask you question, just hang me. Let me just go and die. Instead of me to come up to you and say, this is what I want. Let me just hang me. And it was very difficult. I was telling myself, then just ask this person. Somebody will, even in it's as bad as even in the comment section, I can't even ask question. Then I will be like, if this person will judge me and say, hey, this simple thing you don't know. This I had so many things in my head. And the more I realized that I have a problem with asking questions, the more I read on my own. So I did more of self-reading, research. I keep doing it like that. Then at a point in 20, I think late 2022, I made a post that normally I pray before interviews. And it's true. Like I made the post with, I woke up that morning, I was just typing. It was very long. I said I pray before spoke to, okay, I want to, like, I do initial screening, right? When I call them, I want to pray so this person will pass, not for them at that moment, for me, so they will pass, so I'll make this money. And when I posted it, I got 1,000 plus likes. I was like, eh?
You're getting the
That was
gist.
when I said, wait, oh. So this is how it is. I got people who say, thank you, Gloria, this is international people. Look, I said, what is happening? I said, this is what I do. Why is it that my story is changing more than me giving people the value or knowledge? Because then I'll write about this is how you have to do your CV, 3 likes. But now I'm sharing my story. Everybody's connecting. Then I went back to human psychology. I started reading on it. Then one mistake I did, I always tell people now is that yes, we don't know when we go viral, but you can plan for virality. You can plan that if I go viral, I will leverage it. That is one thing I did not do, and I went back to square one. This square one I went back to 2 likes. Like it's not a joke. And I was reason, where are those 1,000 plus people? I had nothing to offer. Then I knew nothing about LinkedIn profile optimization. I was just doing my thing. And I did not realize. I think it's now I realized I made a mistake then. I keep moving. Okay, I'll still get this 1 like. I'll still get this 1,000 likes. At a point, I saw that, oh, You'll be attracting people. I started doing motivation, exactly. And people were related with motivation. Yes, that's true. But I was getting nothing. And I said, how do people actually keep up? I buy data every day. Yes, I'm getting the likes. I'm getting the people. I always call it popular and broke. I think after that my experience, I coined the word popular and broke because that was how it is. They know me. Oh, this girl, yeah. But at the point I did not have money to come back. My phone spoiled. I went off LinkedIn. By the time I came back in 2022, everything have cleared. So like if I'm seeing a new LinkedIn, I started from scratch again for the third time. This time I sat down. I told myself, Gloria, even if it's 2K per week, make it. I was not going far. I said 2K is my data in 1 month. I'm not an Instagram person that will pay me 2K every month. I'm okay. I'll keep motivating you people as long as it's not coming from my pocket. So that's where I started reaching out to recruiters. Not that I was just following them. I saw how they were because I wanted to work in a recruitment firm. Then HR was so broad that I had problem. Are you done? And you can actually move from there. So that's how I shifted into recruitment. I started following different people, international people. And I came across a post one day. The guy was saying he's an agency recruiter. He makes, I think that's $500 per month. That this is how he does it. He sent proposal. I said, it's not the same thing I'm doing for 10K. Are they actually cheating me? Then I had problem. We Nigerians had problem with the company. I said, hey. So I went to the guy. I said, how come you're making? He said, no, no, just there are so many recruitment firms. It's not full time. I started applying, and most of them responded. So I was posting. It was coming up. I was posting. I remember the first time I made 30K on LinkedIn. I was like, we die here. I'm not going 30K for giving them one particular card. I said, what I say in this link, is in this street. That's how I started building my brand on LinkedIn. It took me time to shape my brand. I made a lot of mistakes. It took me time to actually know who I am. It took me time to gain clarity. But one thing I did was, at that moment, I knew what I wanted. It might not sound reasonable to people, but it sounds reasonable to me. If I'm coming on LinkedIn in January, I know that I say I want to make 2K. I knew what I wanted. So others might be saying, oh, money is not everything, but that is what I wanted at that time. And I was fighting for it. So now I always tell people say, just start. And when I share my story, I will tell them, start with clarity because sometimes you might be consistently doing the wrong thing and you're just wasting your time. If you keep doing this thing is not working, but just keep trust the process. I say it's not a process that is processing. Oh. There's a process we keep trusting. You're not just meant to be there. So I didn't just wake up one morning and started getting all the attention on LinkedIn. I actually worked for it, made a lot of mistakes. When I tell because I felt I came back, so that is it. That is how I started in the recruitment industry.
Thank you so much for that sharing, Gloria. That is really very interesting. It's a personal story, therefore, people must resonate with it. You see how much we pay
Yeah,
attention to storytelling here because the human
exactly.
story is powerful. It really is. It really is. All right. Now, I would like to sort of ask you something I should have asked you before. Were you born? Where do you stay now? You in Lagos? You are in Anambra State. Tell me a bit about your current position.
Okay, Lagos. Anytime I hear Lagos, I'm very scared. I've never been to Lagos. I'm only trying to know a lot about Lagos, and I think I'm having a mental, I don't know, a picture in my head. Gloria, are you sure you can stay here? I currently stay in Anambra. I just relocated from Kano to Anambra. I was born in Kano. I did my BA, my first degree in Anambra. So I just relocated from Kano to Anambra last month.
All right. Thank you so much. So, you have, of course, been in Kano for some time. Okay, you are now in
Yeah.
Anambra, of course. That is within the Nigeria context. Now, when you look at
Exactly.
Nigeria, how much are people actually using LinkedIn there? And what can you tell me about that? I mean, it could be
Mhm.
whether you can or okay, you have not been to Lagos, but look at the Nigerian ecosystem. What do you say about that?
Okay, Kanu, no. Kanu is more of a commercial area. I think that's the main reason I left. Attend more events. There's so many events in the past. Oh, Gloria, are you coming? I'll check from Kanu to Anambra. I'll say it's a long journey. I'll just relax. So Kanu is more of a commercial area. I don't think there's a time we wanted to do. I think someone local Kanu, and nothing happened. Nothing. Like I think I was just. I told her yes, I was in Kanu. That was it. We're just like five. So it's more like more of a business area. So you won't see this corporate, unlike Lagos that people are everywhere, right? Then that of Anambra, yes, people know about LinkedIn in Anambra. There's so many Anambarians, not just people who stay in Anambra, that they are leveraging LinkedIn. They are on LinkedIn. They understand the platform. They understand social media in general. In short, social media in general, I don't think Kano people really understand it till now. They are more of exchange of money physically. Anything that deals with online transfer is not their business. So it's more of a commercial area than Lagos and other parts of Nigeria.
So you mean like in Anambra State where you are now, people are much more interested in online business, in that they set up their own businesses, and you can because this is what I say up for in that this is a
Yeah,
time for us, or okay, time for the much younger ones who are able to leverage the power of internet to set up their businesses. Because when you are connected to the internet grid, you have no you have no limitation anymore in terms of what you can do,
exactly.
who can be your client. Yeah, you can actually have
Yeah,
client in Berlin, you can have client in New York, you can have client in Canada, in France, in Australia. Because what is important is that you are able to do something for somebody, and this person can pay you to do it.
exactly.
So I really find that to be
Exactly.
interesting. What do you have to say about that?
People have not realized the importance of social media for global relevance. I tell people, gone are the days where people say, "Oh, I don't have to be here. I don't know anybody in this location to go and work there." In that your small space, as small as that your room is, you can just it's just like someone saying from your room to the world. I people online, there are most people I know online. I've spoken to them like if we're brothers and sisters, if we have seen, but we've not seen. We've worked together. We've shared same work environment. We've shared same knowledge. We've exchanged so many of them. But people haven't understand social media beyond the general, I don't know what to call it. That's for Twitter people. Social media to build what they want to, or become what they want to become. So I think from COVID, people started understanding that anything can happen. You see so many companies started moving online. At that point, before COVID, they felt, oh, you're more productive when we are seeing you, if you're wearing suit or not, if you're actually pressing laptop in the office or not. So they want to be see you face to face to check, or I don't know how to put it, or to determine your strength or your competence. Exactly. But after COVID or during COVID, people said they had no options. Most companies had no option than to move online. And then they saw the reality of it, how possible it was that you can be in your room and be valuable, be in your room and deliver. But most young people, see social media differently. They feel, oh, sometimes it's not their fault. It's how the part of the social media they first came to meet. I'm telling you, there are people on Twitter I've worked with, and when I tell them, oh, this is what you can do on LinkedIn. This is how LinkedIn. It seems I'm just pouring water into a basket. They felt, in this part of our world, something like LinkedIn exists, and you hear most of them saying, the place they used to form only professional people. The only people that work that company is only people that work in Google. I don't think it's possible. They're not seeing the possibility. They are just on social media to exchange rants.
But of course, there are those that are able to leverage it, that are able to work with it, and of course, it's something that will continue to
Sure.
grow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is very good. Also, because when you are looking at the Nigeria population today, okay, generally the African population is very high in terms of the young people, and the tools of the age are also the internet, the telephone, smartphone that you have in your hands. You can actually set up a lot of businesses just doing that. So that is why I think it is a very powerful and a very powerful instrument to be leveraged today. We are used to blaming the government for everything. Okay, I know the government need to do what they have to do. They need to build
Darling.
road, electricity, and all that. But it have gone at the time that we need to start asking the government, give me job. No, it is time for us to create our own job. Ask yourself, what can you do? It doesn't even matter whether you
Exactly.
go to university or not. It's not
Or
important
not.
anymore. The question is, can you talk? The question you can you draw? The question is, can you write? The question is, can you do something for somebody else? Can you do graphic? Can you edit video? Any of this skill can be a whole business. And you
Exactly.
don't you don't really need school to do this. What you need is skill. Because if you go to school and you don't have a skill, you are still going to be out of job. But
As
if you
exactly.
but if you have a skill, that skill can give you job. It can actually become your job. So I think if we do this more within our different African country, or in Nigeria to be specific, because Nigeria is a world of its own. No, from the different places that we are in Nigeria, whether you are in Anambra, in Enugu, or Kano, you are in Edo, or in Oyo, or Ibadan, we can create job for ourselves, and very soon we will be able to even take the government, because if you are able to satisfy your own need, you can organize yourself, build institution. You will be able to determine what they can do, those in the position of authority. But if you have no money,
Yeah,
you have
there's
no influence, you cannot really move any needle. Yeah, yeah, please.
exactly. There is something I tell people, especially those that if you keep listening to people, let me take it one after the other. I am anytime I speak to any youth program, they always say, "Oh, there's so many graphic designers, there's so many people in content writing." I said, "Why do you think there's so many people doing that? It's not because there's money; it's because there is money." So if you think this particular skill is saturated, and that's why you don't want to use what you have, that particular skill to earn money, I always tell them go and saturate the saturated. There are people who are top of their industry. They didn't just get there. Why will you think of something and think of this person? I didn't know other people doing it. Now, I always tell them about where I teach clarity. If you can be able to observe, analyze, and leverage, there is nothing you can't sell to gain money in return online. I can teach this thing. I'm setting it up. I'm leveraging the my skills of speaking, public speaking. I am learning something relating to it, and I'm selling it. I'm getting money in exchange. But people don't really understand who they are. And if you don't understand around who you are, talk more of a what, a skill. Talk more of where to even sell it and how to sell it. Do you understand? So I always tell people, bring down these four W's. Who are you? At this moment in the stage of your life, your situation, who are you? What can you offer? People you see, directors of companies, best, they started from somewhere. They started from who they are and what they can offer at that particular stage, with that particular around the situation they are. If you can determine or have clarity of who you are, you can get what you actually want to do. Even on LinkedIn, I tell people the reason why you complain that LinkedIn is not working upon all your consistency is that you lack clarity of who you are and why you're on LinkedIn. I've worked with people, clients who just come, "Oh, Gloria, I want you to optimize my profile." And I tell them, "Say, I'm not looking for a job. I'm a business owner. I just want to have a social presence. I want people to ask of Gloria and they can go on LinkedIn and see what I do. I'm not looking for a job. I don't want to create content." You can't tell me you are the same with people who just want to build a social presence. You will have to move from A to B for yours to work. So understand who you are, understand what you want to be known for. At the stage of your life, nobody say you will not change it later. Because one thing I've seen online is people establishing authority in one particular thing. And then when they realize that they gain more clarity, they are afraid to move. They are doing copywriting. And when they see that, oh, this copywriting is not giving me the satisfaction I need, I don't think in 5 years this is where I want to be. They are real estate. They feel that, oh, people will say after doing copywriting, you're doing, who cares? Like, how are you looking at people who don't pay you, people who don't buy you data, people who don't understand your process, people who don't understand your purpose of existence on earth, and you're looking at them feeling, oh, they will say, I'm doing copyright and now I want to move into real estate. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. As long as you've gained clarity and see that this copywriting is not, yes, I started with it. There's so many people, there's so many things. I did graphics designing. People on Facebook till now, they don't know me as a recruiter. When they hear my name, they might say, oh, the girl that does graphics. So you don't tell me because if I want to come back on Facebook, I can't clear my page, or I can't say, oh, I know I did graphics. Now I want to be a talent. Nobody owes you anything as long as you have clarity. So that's why people keep being consistent in one thing and it's not working, but they are there hoping that it will work one day. It doesn't work like that. If you're not able to analyze every stage of your career growth, your journey, even life in general, you will be stagnant. And you keep hoping on people who won't carry you anywhere. They will just match you and pass. You keep saying, oh, I don't want to go from copywriting to real estate that I found passion or have built passion in, because people will say this. You will see people excelling in real estate while you are more than them. Like, you have the knowledge. Attraction method, you're not using. Positioning, you're not using, just because of what people say. So if young people can be able to gain clarity of who they are first, you are starting out, who are you? What can you offer? You don't have any skill at the moment. I know you don't have experience, but you can offer your time, you can offer your attention. There's something you have that I don't have. That is not product or services. You can sell yourself, and that is how you find product and services. People don't just wake up and create products or services. They first sell them. I sell me, Gloria. I said that, oh, this is what I know. From what I know, I created products and services. So you don't wait and sit and be like, oh, let me first and learn the skill to the end. Show us. That's why people say, show us your process. You are learning the skill. Show yourself. Show that you are learning it. So even when you get to mastery of that skill, you see people who will vouch for you and willing to work with you because they've seen your process. But young people, we are not ready to go through that process. We just jump. Oh, copywriting is working for this girl. She said she has made that dollar. I think it's time to go into copywriting. And they go. After 2 months, they see another person excelling in graphic design. They move. No clarity. No, they are not analyzed. They are not observing. They don't have a goal. They don't have a why. I tell people the reason you build, if you're building structures, you're building it to build a solid why. You have a why already. Now you're creating strategies, systems, and structure to build a standard or a solid why. But if you don't have a why, you keep jumping from pillar to post and then keep complaining, oh, I've been consistent. You're consistently doing the wrong thing, my brother.
That's so interesting. But if you are consistently doing the wrong thing, you will consistently get zero results.
Exactly. Just like that. Exactly.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
Now,
thank you.
what do you suggest beginners should do to position themselves on LinkedIn? What is your recommendation to them?
Okay, like I said before, okay, maybe I'm using the word clarity. Anytime I say the word clarity, people think it's very big. Know why you are coming on LinkedIn. Are you just coming on LinkedIn because they said LinkedIn pays people and don't even have you don't have anything? Now, even if you don't have a skill, you're coming on LinkedIn as a student, knowing that you're coming to learn a particular skill and aid from it. Be able to identify your why. I am coming on LinkedIn. I'm a student. I would like to learn a skill that can help me this, that. Oh, you have a brand already, probably somewhere else, maybe Facebook, and you know that I'm a content writer, I'm a copywriter. I am coming on LinkedIn to be known as a copywriter. Then, if you have identified your why, you can be able to build your profile to be able to convince and convert. The main reason people are not getting visibility, they are not getting the income they want on LinkedIn is because they don't have a why. No matter how it's unreasonable it is for others seeing it. Personally, when I started, it was not clear. Like I said, I just knew that I want to be or build a brand in the HR space under recruitment. I don't have any experience there. I just know that I just want to be a recruiter. I built my profile to look like that. If you've been able to identify your why, you can be able to place your profile. It's just like me, I'm speaking to, oh, I need, let me say, a copywriter, and I'm coming to your profile, I'm seeing that you're a copywriter. Why will it not convert? I think the next thing to do is to know that, oh, is this person the one? I know she's a copywriter, but is she the one? So that's why I tell people, you've understand your why. Now work towards building a profile that convinces and converts. Optimization of profile, LinkedIn profile, is not just filling up information. It's not just being able to say they said headline, you just put something there. They said about section, you find what you put. They said education, you just put something. It's being able to present yourself, position yourself with words that actually convert. You cannot be able to position yourself with words that convert if you don't have a why. Because is that why that you build everything upon? Is that why you will be able to know your what? Is that why you'll be able to know your who? If I know that I'm coming on LinkedIn as a recruiter, I know that, oh, my target audience are job seekers. So I'm building my profile to attract job seekers, to attract hiring managers, right? I understand why I'm coming to LinkedIn as a recruiter. What do you offer as a recruiter? I help companies do this and that, hire talent. I also help job seekers or position their marketing tools. Now, who are my target audience? Job seekers, hiring managers. I move from who. Now I'm going to why. How? How do you now position yourself as someone a job seeker can approach and say, I'm looking for a job, can you help me? As someone a hiring manager can approach, I see that you're a recruiter, you have done this and that. Can you help me filling this role? You see, there are three stages. I know what I'm coming to do. No matter how unclear it is, I'm coming on board as a student, knowing that I have a flair. I want to learn copywriting. I want to build my brand as a copywriter. I am building my profile as a copywriter. Now, I might not be able to identify the particular a restricted audience. So that's why people talk about niching. A restricted audience yet, but I know I am coming to be or I want to be a copywriter. Now I don't have to be email copywriter, this one copywriter. Copywriter, I am starting. I just know it's copywriter. Then as the process goes, it becomes clear. I can now restrict myself if I actually want to. Because niching down is a whole big topic on it. People sometimes confuse, right? Now, you being able to say I'm a copywriter, then you can build your profile with words that convert. Use of language and place in the job market now. Just saying you're a copywriter doesn't differentiate you from B. A and B is the same thing. Now, why we a client company, why will someone come to you, leaving others that have copywriter on their profile and say, oh, I want to work with you? That is where you'll be able to apply the positioning and attraction profile to be able to convince and convert. So that's why I said it's beyond filling up information. It's beyond telling me you're a copywriter. Okay, I know you're a copywriter. How, what kind of copywriter? Why will I want to even hire you as a copywriter? Jane is a copywriter. Gloria is a copywriter. Why will I hire you instead of Jane and Gloria? Do you understand? That is optimization of profile. Over the years, I've seen people say, Gloria, I don't get jobs on LinkedIn and nobody's that. And when I go to their profile, I say, I am confused. I can actually pinpoint what you do and how you stand out. Sometimes I can pinpoint what you do because probably you've copied someone else's profile, understand placement of words. But why can't that is it? I have as a recruiter, I've seen a lot. Sometimes I am sourcing for a role. I think I spoke last month on an audio event. I said I saw the same about section for 5 people. I'm not joking. I told them if you want evidence, I'll provide it now. I don't mean the same style. I don't mean the same. I mean the same word, the same flow, the same language. You see somebody, instead of someone to say surprise, someone will say flagabasted. So maybe to use surprise, person use you just use the flagabasted like that and be going. That is how I saw that profile. 5 of them, the same color branding. I'm not joking. That is how it is. And sometimes you come out and ask yourself, why are you not getting jobs? Or why people are not seeing you? I do research a lot as a recruiter on my own. I might not be hiring for a role at this particular moment, but if you see me going on LinkedIn, I have a book. I have to do my homework before time, right? There's so many roles I know. You just tell me you need this person. In my head, I know somebody already. That's because of the assignment I've done. So you can't just copy somebody. Okay, even if you've copied the person, oh yeah, you will reach the. I said, oh yeah, you will reach. You will reach a stage where you have to prove what you've written. Come and prove it. You said you're a copywriter, you have increased revenue from 500 to 1000 because you copied some influencers' profile that have actually done the job. Oh yeah, come and write. Come and write a copy that will convert for 100. You can't. And you asking me, why are you not getting jobs? Trusting a process or liking people or modeling, not modeling, being able to look at this person and say, oh, this is where I want to be, doesn't mean you copy them. That's one mistake people make. You like this person, you want to be where this person, you can't copy someone's process. So that on my profile, I wrote 200 percentage. I know I've calculated. You can't just write 200 percentage on your profile. You model people, you don't copy them just because you want to get to their stage. So as you're coming on LinkedIn, understand the stage you are. Yes, you're looking forward to certain people who are already where you want to be. Doesn't mean you will copy them. Understand your stage, then build everything to process. I am a copywriter, I'm coming on board. This is the result I've gotten. Authenticity is something you can't take from anybody. Like, I am me. You can't take that. There is nothing you do to be able to look like me, even when we're in the same industry. Find your. And do you know the most important thing? Sometimes your unique voice is not in something big. I tell people look at you and like you probably because of your face, and you keep getting favors because of your fine face. The ability to leverage your fine face is the problem. People like talking to you because of your voice. You might not have all the knowledge needed in that industry, but when they hear your tone, they feel this is authority. Your ability to leverage it, your process, your story. I've seen so many instances where people's story have taken them so far. Why? What is now? Why you a story when you can just be yourself, stand out, and be amazing? There is no need. Understand where you are. This is my story. People who will get attracted to you, your target audience who will connect or resonate with you, they are there. It's just that you want to copy someone else. And when that person's kind of audience start coming to you, delivery becomes a problem. That is it. You've copied to the stage of attracting them. Delivery becomes a problem. So it's just like coming to me and say, oh, can you do this? I see on your profile. Why I'm saying this is as a recruiter, I've seen lion on paper and ant in real life. I don't know if you understand. It's true. You'll be so excited. Wow, I know this girl. I know the face behind this. I know wow, her profile is. Then get to speak to that person. You'll be disappointed. I don't just mean, okay, I always tell people, you know something is in your head. Ability for you to tell the next person what you know makes you stand out. We are not witches that look at you and be like, ah, Gloria, yes, Gloria can do this. What you show us is what we know. So that's why you see when people show you, hey, I've done this, you start taking them, looking at them in that light. I have made over, first will say, I have made over 1 million on LinkedIn. You start looking at them in that light. The moment a situation comes and it shows that is a lie, you go back to square one. Now, instead of going through that struggle, why not just start with what you have and grow from there? People's stories are taking them so far, very far. Like sometimes they move from A to Z. There's no need to lie about it, sef. I cannot do this thing now, doesn't mean I can't do it tomorrow. I like this thing. This is what I want to do, but I cannot do it now. I can learn it. It's different from, yes, I can do this thing, and when the time comes, you can't deliver. So be able to understand your situation. Where are you? What level are you at that point? As a copy, you're a copywriter doing this. Do you know? And one thing with optimization of LinkedIn, it is open. It is not a place where you've put something, it remains there forever. LinkedIn gives you the privilege to change it. Tomorrow you feel that, oh, exactly. Tomorrow you feel that you've helped 5 people, and tomorrow you help 20. Go and change it. As change it, revamp. Nobody is eating you up for not putting certain things in your profile as you're starting out. When I started that, my profile read sourcing specialist at the company I was working. Nothing concerned me. But I know this is my process. This is where I am at the moment. Nobody should just shift me from where I am. This is where I am. At the moment I started expanding, I understand. Oh, I started observing. Oh, Gloria, it's time to take writing you do. Decide to make it a business. Then I went back to my profile. When I've tried it, I've said that, oh, this have helped like 5 people. I went back to my profile, revamped. As I progress, I revamp. Today, I might have helped 50 people. Tomorrow, if I'm opportune to move from 50 to 100, I go back 100. It's as simple like that as that. You own your profile. In my book, I named it Own Your Profile. For this same reason, it is your own. Nobody is dragging you to put certain things on it.
Thank you so much, Gloria. It really have been very rich here, the sharing. I appreciate it a lot. All right, so what would be your final thought in 1 minute to conclude the conversation, speaking to the people that have been listening to you to this time? What would be your final thought to them?
My final thought is there is so much you can do, but you've just not realized it yet. And you can realize it is to start, and the time to start is now. And as you grow, as you're ready to start, understand that what people say at a point will not matter again. Don't seek validation where it is not necessary. Then understand and cultivate the habit of asking questions. There's so many things asking questions can do for you. It can move you from A to Z. Why are you stressing moving the process where somebody can tell you, please don't jump this gutter, it's leading to nowhere, jump this one? Why not ask and let your journey be shorter? Understand that you can stand out to be amazing. Understand that the right time to start is now, and nobody is owing you, nobody is coming, nobody is owing you shit. Understand that in your journey, seeking validation will just delay your growth or slow it down. Then cultivate the habit of asking questions. It can lead you from 1% to 100 in a space of a minute.
How can people connect with you, those who want to do business with you? Please briefly share that.
Okay, on LinkedIn, and my WhatsApp number 081 211 46650 081 +234 8111 46650. Then on all social media platforms, I am Gloria NG Alado on all social media platforms.
All right. Thank you so much, Gloria. It has been a pleasure talking with you here. I really appreciate the conversation, the time. Usually, we don't do one session and that is all. We can come back again to talk about some other thing that you do on another occasion. If you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you in the next episode.